Chosen one, stop scrolling. This is not random. This is not coincidence. If this message found you, it means something inside you is already awake. You felt it, haven't you? That strange pull, like your life was never meant to be ordinary. Like there was something written about you, long before you even existed. A prophecy not spoken out loud, but felt deep in your soul. And now it's happening. The signs are no longer subtle. The patterns are no longer hidden. Everything you've been through, every pain, every rejection, every moment of isolation. It wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Because the prophecy about you is becoming real. You were never like them. Even as a child, you felt it. You saw the world differently. You questioned things others blindly followed. While they were comfortable, you were searching. While they were asleep, you were feeling something deeper. And they didn't understand you. They called you too sensitive, too different, too much. But what they didn't realize is that your difference was your assignment. Chosen ones are not meant to fit in. They are meant to awaken. And awakening is a lonely path. There were moments you doubted yourself. Moments you tried to blend in. Moments you shrunk your light just to feel accepted. But no matter how hard you tried, something inside you refused to stay silent. That voice, that feeling, that knowing. It kept whispering, you are meant for more. And that whisper is the prophecy calling you back to yourself. Because you were never designed to live a small life. You were designed to remember who you truly are. But here's the truth they don't tell you. The moment you start waking up, the resistance begins. Suddenly people misunderstand you. They distance themselves. They question your growth. Why? Because your awakening threatens their comfort. Your light exposes their darkness. And not everyone is ready to face that. So they try to silence you. They try to doubt you. They try to make you question your own path. But listen carefully. If they're reacting to your growth, it means your power is real. Chosen ones go through isolation for a reason. It's not abandonment, it's alignment. You are being separated from what no longer matches your energy. From people who cannot go where you're going. From environments that were never meant to hold your future. And yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels unfair. But every separation is a redirection. Every loss is making space for something greater. Because your journey is not ordinary. And neither is your destination. You've been through things that should have broken you. But they didn't. You're still here. Still standing. Still searching for truth. Still feeling that fire inside you. That's not normal strength. That's spiritual resilience. That's divine protection. That's the proof that you are chosen. Because not everyone survives what you've survived. And still keeps their heart open. And now things are shifting. You feel it. The confusion is turning into clarity. The pain is turning into purpose. The silence is turning into understanding. You're starting to see why everything happened the way it did. Why certain doors closed. Why certain people left. Why you had to walk alone. Because the prophecy needed you to grow. Before it could reveal itself. Your intuition is getting stronger. Your awareness is expanding. You're no longer easily manipulated. You see through illusions. You feel energy before words are even spoken. And that scares people. Because you can't be controlled anymore. You can't be distracted anymore. You are becoming aligned with your true self. And that is the most powerful state a human can reach. But don't get it twisted. This journey is not easy. There will be days you feel lost again. Days you question everything. Days you feel like giving up. But those moments are part of the process. They are tests, not to break you, but to strengthen your belief in yourself. Because the prophecy doesn't activate in comfort. It activates in pressure. You are not here to live like everyone else. You are here to lead, to inspire, to awaken others who are still asleep. Your story, your pain, your transformation. It's not just for you. It's meant to become a light for others. That's why you had to go through it first. That's why you had to feel it deeper. Because you are not just chosen to survive. You are chosen to guide. So stop doubting yourself. Stop shrinking your energy. Stop pretending to be less than who you are. Because the truth is, the prophecy doesn't need your permission to unfold. It's already happening. The only question is, are you ready to accept it? You didn't come this far by accident. You didn't survive all that just to stay the same. You didn't awaken just to go back to sleep. No, you were meant to rise, to step into your power, to become everything they said you couldn't be. Because deep down, you already know. You feel it in your bones. You feel it in your soul. You feel it in every moment of silence. That something bigger is coming. And it starts with you choosing yourself. If this message reached you, it's not by chance. It's confirmation. So now I want to hear from you. Do you feel like your life has been guided by something bigger all along? Drop "I am chosen" in the comments if you're ready to fully step into your power. Like this video if this awakens something inside you, and subscribe to Chosen Wave, because your journey is just beginning. And the deeper you go, the more you begin to notice something strange. It's like reality itself starts responding to you. Situations align at the exact moment you need them. People appear with messages you were just thinking about. Doors open not by force but by alignment. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is what happens when the prophecy begins to synchronize with your reality. You start to outgrow your old identity. The version of you that once tolerated disrespect no longer exists. The version of you that needed validation begins to fade. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer beg, you walk away. And that shift confuses people. Because they were comfortable with the old you. The easier you. The quieter you. But this version, this awakened version, cannot be controlled. There's a reason your circle keeps getting smaller. It's not because you're losing people. It's because you're gaining clarity. You're starting to see intentions. You're starting to feel energy without needing words. And once you see truth, you can't unsee it. So naturally, you detach. Not out of hate, but out of growth. Because your spirit refuses to settle for anything that disturbs your peace. And let's talk about that loneliness. That deep, unexplainable isolation. Even when you're surrounded by people, you still feel alone. Like no one truly understands you. Like you're living in a different frequency. That feeling is not a curse. It's a sign. A sign that your soul is evolving beyond the environment you're in. Because not everyone is meant to walk this path with you. Some people are only chapters, not the entire story. You've also noticed how your tolerance for negativity has dropped. Things that once didn't bother you now feel heavy. Conversations feel draining. Fake energy feels unbearable. And you start craving silence, peace, solitude. That's not you becoming antisocial. That's you becoming aligned. Because when your energy rises, anything that doesn't match it becomes uncomfortable. And then there's your intuition. It's sharper now, stronger, almost undeniable. You think of something and it happens. You feel something and it reveals itself. You sense people's intentions without them saying a word. That's not overthinking. That's awareness. That's your inner guidance system activating. The same system that has been trying to lead you your entire life. But here's where it gets even deeper. The more you awaken, the more you realize you were never truly lost. Even in your darkest moments, even when everything felt like it was falling apart, there was always something guiding you, something protecting you, something making sure you didn't break completely. Because your story had to continue. Your purpose had to unfold. And now you begin to understand why certain things didn't work out, why certain people couldn't stay, why certain paths were blocked. It wasn't rejection. It was redirection. You were being pulled away from what wasn't meant for you, even when you didn't understand it at the time, even when it hurt, even when it felt like loss. It was all part of aligning you with something greater. There's also this fire inside you now, a quiet confidence, not loud, not arrogant, but unshakable. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. You don't need to explain your journey to people who don't understand it. Because you know, and that knowing is enough. That's what happens when you start trusting yourself again, when you reconnect with your inner truth. But don't ignore this part. As your light grows, so does the resistance. Not everyone will celebrate your evolution. Some will feel threatened by it. Some will try to bring you back to who you used to be. They'll remind you of your past. They'll question your change. They'll doubt your growth. But that's because your transformation forces them to confront their own stagnation. And not everyone is ready for that. You might even feel like giving up sometimes. Like it would be easier to just go back. To shrink, to hide, to blend in. But you can't. Because once you awaken, there is no going back to sleep. You've seen too much. You've felt too much. You've realized too much. And your soul will not allow you to betray your truth anymore. This is the moment where most people break. But not you. Because something inside you refuses to quit. Even when you're tired. Even when you feel alone. Even when the path seems unclear. There's still a voice inside you saying, "Keep going." That voice is not random. That voice is your purpose calling you forward. And the truth is, you're closer than you think. Closer to understanding. Closer to alignment. Closer to stepping fully into who you were always meant to be. Everything you've been through is leading to this exact moment. This shift. This realization. This awakening. And now you're standing at a threshold. Not the same person you used to be, but not fully who you're becoming yet. This in-between phase feels confusing, feels unstable, feels like everything is uncertain. But this is where transformation happens. This is where the old version of you dissolves, and the real you begins to take form. You may feel like things are slowing down, like nothing is moving the way you expected, like your progress has paused. But look deeper. This is not delay, this is divine timing. You are being positioned, prepared, stabilized, because what's coming into your life next requires a version of you that is ready to hold it. There are parts of you still healing, old wounds that resurface out of nowhere, old memories that suddenly feel fresh again. old emotions you thought you had already overcome. Don't ignore them. Don't suppress them. This is not regression. This is release. Your soul is clearing out everything that cannot come with you. Because where you're going, there is no space for unresolved pain. And yes, it gets heavy sometimes. There are nights when your thoughts don't let you rest. Moments when you feel overwhelmed for no clear reason. Times when you question your entire journey. But understand this. You are not falling apart. You are breaking through. Every emotional wave, every internal battle, is reshaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more aware. You've also started to notice. You can't fake anything anymore. You can't pretend to like people you don't align with. You can't stay in places that drain you. You can't ignore your inner voice. It's like your soul has zero tolerance for anything false. And that's because you are being aligned with truth. Not comfort. Not illusion. Truth. And truth will always demand honesty from you. There's a shift happening in how you see yourself too. You're no longer defining yourself by your past. You're no longer holding onto labels that once limited you. You're starting to see your worth without needing anyone else to confirm it. And that changes everything. Because once you truly see your value, you stop accepting anything that doesn't match it. People will notice this change. They may not say it directly, but they'll feel it. Your energy speaks before you even open your mouth. The way you carry yourself, the way you respond, the way you walk away from what no longer serves you. It all reflects growth. It all reflects awakening. And not everyone will know how to handle that version of you. Some will try to reconnect, not because they've changed, but because they feel your elevation. Be careful. Not every return is genuine. Not every apology is real. Your discernment is your protection now. If something feels off, trust it. If something doesn't align, leave it. You didn't come this far to fall back into old cycles. And then there are moments of clarity. Moments where everything suddenly makes sense. Where you sit in silence and just know, I get it now. Those moments are powerful because they confirm that your journey is real, that your growth is real, that everything you've been feeling is not in your head. It's your awakening unfolding in real time. You're also stepping into a different kind of mindset. Less reactive, more observant. Less emotional chaos, more inner control. You don't need to respond to everything anymore. You don't need to prove anything anymore. Your silence becomes your power. Your peace becomes your priority. And that shift is what separates you from who you used to be. But remember this. The higher you rise, the more disciplined you must become. Not just in your actions, but in your thoughts. Because your mind is powerful now. What you focus on begins to manifest faster. What you believe starts shaping your reality. So be careful where you place your energy. Because your energy is no longer ordinary. And here's the part most people won't understand. You're not chasing success anymore. You're aligning with purpose. And there's a difference. Success is external. Purpose is internal. Success fades without meaning. But purpose fuels everything. And once you connect to that, nothing can distract you from your path. You're becoming more selective. With your time, with your energy, with your attention. You realize now, not everything deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves your presence. And that's not ego. That's self-respect. That's knowing your worth at a deeper level. And even though the path is still unfolding, even though not everything is clear yet, there's one thing you can't deny anymore. You are changing. You are evolving. You are becoming something different, something stronger, something more aligned, something closer to your true self than ever before. And as this transformation deepens, you begin to detach from the need to be understood. That constant urge to explain yourself starts fading, because you realize people can only meet you at the level they understand themselves. And not everyone has done the inner work that you've done. So instead of forcing connection, you choose peace. You choose silence. You choose distance when necessary. There's also a shift in how you handle pain. Before, it used to consume you. Now it teaches you. You don't run from it anymore. You sit with it. You observe it. You learn from it. Because you've realized pain is not your enemy. It's a messenger. And every message is guiding you closer to your truth. You're no longer reacting the same way. Things that once triggered you now barely move you. Not because you don't care, but because you understand. You see the bigger picture now. You see patterns. You see intentions. And that awareness gives you control. A quiet, powerful control that most people never reach. And then comes this deep sense of detachment. Not from life, but from illusion. You stop chasing validation. You stop needing approval. You stop trying to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. And instead, you start creating your own space, your own energy, your own reality. Because you finally understand. You were never meant to belong. You were meant to stand apart. Your vision is changing too. What you once thought you wanted no longer excites you. Old goals start to feel empty. Old dreams start to feel small. Because your soul is expanding. And it's calling you towards something bigger. Something more meaningful. Something that actually aligns with who you are becoming. Not who you used to be. You may even feel disconnected from your past self. Like you're looking at an old version of you that doesn't exist anymore. The way you used to think. The way you used to react. The way you used to tolerate things. It all feels distant now. And that's a sign of real growth. Because evolution means leaving behind versions of yourself that no longer match your current energy. But with this growth comes responsibility. You can't unsee what you now see. You can't unknow what you now know. So every choice you make moving forward matters more. Every decision, every action, every thought. It all carries weight. Because you are no longer operating unconsciously. You are aware now. And awareness changes everything. There's also this inner strength building within you. Not loud, not aggressive, but steady, grounded, unshakable. You don't panic the way you used to. You don't fall apart the way you used to. Even when things get difficult, there's a part of you that stays calm, that trusts, that knows. This too is part of my journey. And people will start noticing that calmness. They'll see something different in your eyes. Something deeper. Something they can't quite explain. And they may ask, what changed about you? But the truth is, you didn't just change. You remembered. You remembered who you were before the world told you who to be. And now your presence carries energy. You don't even have to speak loudly. You don't have to prove anything. Just being yourself, authentically, unapologetically, is enough to shift the atmosphere around you. That's the power of alignment. That's the power of becoming who you truly are. But don't forget, this journey is not about perfection. You will still have moments of doubt, moments of weakness, moments where you feel like you're slipping back. But you're not starting over. You're just being tested at a higher level. And every time you rise again, you become even stronger than before. You're also learning the importance of boundaries. Real boundaries. Not just words, but actions. You walk away when something feels wrong. You say no without guilt. You protect your peace without explanation. And that's something your old self struggled with. But this version of you understands that protecting your energy is not selfish. It's necessary. And as all of this unfolds, there's one realization that becomes impossible to ignore. You are not who you used to be, and you will never be that person again. Because once the prophecy begins to awaken within you, it doesn't stop. It doesn't reverse. It only moves forward, guiding you, shaping you, preparing you for something far greater than you ever imagined. And the deeper you step into this version of yourself, the more you start to value your solitude. Not because you hate people, but because you finally enjoy your own presence. Silence no longer feels empty. It feels full. Full of clarity, full of peace, full of connection with something greater within you. And in that silence, you begin to hear truths that noise could never reveal. You start noticing how distractions don't pull you the same way anymore. The things that once entertained you now feel meaningless. Endless scrolling, shallow conversations, temporary pleasures. They no longer satisfy your spirit, because your soul is craving depth now, truth now, purpose now. And once that craving awakens, nothing superficial can fulfill you again. There's also a shift in how you see time. You stop wasting it. You stop giving it to things and people that don't matter. Because you realize your time is not just time. It's energy. It's life. And every moment you invest is shaping your future. So you become intentional, more focused, more aware of where your energy flows. You may even feel like you're being guided step by step, like something is placing thoughts in your mind, pushing you in certain directions, pulling you away from others. That feeling is real. That's alignment. That's your inner compass activating. And the more you trust it, the clearer your path becomes. But here's something important. Not every step will make sense immediately. There will be moments where you're asked to move without understanding why, to let go without knowing what's coming next, to trust without proof. And that's where faith comes in. Not blind belief, but deep inner knowing. Knowing that even when you can't see the full picture, you are still being guided in the right direction. You're also becoming more aware of energy exchanges. You can feel when something drains you and when something fuels you. You can sense when someone is genuine and when someone is pretending. And because of that, you stop forcing connections. You stop ignoring red flags. You start choosing what chooses you and walking away from what doesn't feel right. And let's talk about your dreams. Not just the ones when you sleep, but the ones you've carried deep inside. They're getting louder now, more persistent, more real. It's like they're calling you, reminding you that you didn't come here to play small, that you didn't come here to settle, that you didn't come here to live an average life. You've also started to embrace change instead of fearing it, Before, it felt uncomfortable, unstable. Now you understand it's necessary. Because growth requires movement. Evolution requires letting go. And every chain is pushing you closer to your highest version. There's this quiet confidence building in you now. Not loud, not forced. Just real. You don't need attention to feel important. You don't need validation to feel worthy. You don't need approval to feel secure. Because your confidence is no longer external. It's internal. And that kind of confidence can't be shaken by opinions. You're also learning to trust your journey. Even when it doesn't look like anyone else's. Even when people question your path. Even when it feels uncertain. Because deep down, you know this path was never meant to be understood by everyone. It was meant to be walked by you. In your own way. At your own pace. And as all of this continues to unfold, you start to realize something powerful. You are not chasing your purpose anymore. Your purpose is revealing itself to you. Through your experiences. Through your growth. Through your awakening. Piece by piece. Step by step. Moment by moment. Until one day, you fully step into it without fear, without doubt, without hesitation. If you felt this, even for a second, then this message was meant for you. This is your confirmation. This is your sign. You are not crazy, you are not lost, you are not alone. You are awakening. So now I'm asking you, are you ready to stop doubting yourself and fully step into who you were meant to be? Type "I am chosen" in the comments right now if you feel this truth in your soul. Let the world know you're no longer hiding. And if this message spoke to you, don't just scroll away. Hit that like button so this reaches other chosen ones who need to hear this. Subscribe to Chosen Wave and become part of a community that understands you, sees you, and walks this path with you. Because this isn't just a video. This is a calling. And the real question is, will you answer it?